So when I ask you to suggest a good startup for the upcoming entrepreneurs, so you might be reading much more than every other person. I mean, as you belong to the direct industry person. So which industry might perform so good, and what is the right industry to invest now? I mean, invest in the sense not about the stock market as a startup.
Sure. So I think first of all, in IT and IT oriented fields, I think we are far ahead, and
Okay.
we're doing quite well.
Okay.
And a lot of the things that are linked to data and AI, etc. I think also we should be naturally ahead of the curve. So that's one area where I think a lot of progress can be made by India. For example, the digital stack that we have, and the kind of data that we have because of our consumer base is a huge amount of data. The fintechs, the B2C and B2B companies have a huge amount of data,
Oh yeah.
right? So we can naturally do a lot more in terms of data mining, which now includes our AI.
Okay.
Okay, with the kind of customer base that we have, for example, not only in B2C consumer companies, but also in fintechs, we have a lot of financial data, medical data, right? We have
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
of
Yes.
medical data
Yes.
because we have like millions and billions of patients data that we have, and we have the brains. So I think a lot of these can be leveraged to develop our own systems for analysis and develop models around it.
Okay.
So from what I read, AI can now do the job of a X-ray reader quite easily, right? And we have the database to do that. So I think a lot of startups should focus on those kind of areas. Second is in automation, robotics. That again is now getting merged with AI to make sure that our manufacturing systems not only become efficient but also far more intelligent and flexible than before,
Okay.
right? 5G and ultra 5G kind of technologies have now almost enabled remote control. There are opportunities where a surgeon sitting in India can do a surgery probably in the Western world, and we've seen demonstration of that because now data and high speed robotics is working together. So there are a lot of business models which will come up
Okay. Okay.
based on automation, based on fast internet speeds, and based on machine learning and AI.
Okay, I understand. So based on the key consumer behavior, so where is the trends for shifting now?
So one is that we talked about the fact that premium consumption is doing well. So all the premium items. Second is there is a fragmentation of the consumer because of fragmentation of media, right? So the way media has gotten fragmented, it's no longer those cable channels or direct TV channels. You have now thousands and millions of sub channels. Even on Instagram, the kind of influencers that you follow is very different from what the kind of influencers that others follow. Same for YouTube or Facebook and all that, and that is leading to a lot of directed media spending, intelligent media spending. So that is also leading to change in consumer behavior, and that's also enabled the creation of D2C brands.
Okay, okay,
Earlier, it was very difficult to launch a D2C brand because how do you find your consumer? But now, with such huge amount of data available on individuals, all the D2C brands have come up on because of YouTube, Insta, and those kind of things. So that's, I think, one of the things that can that is changing in terms of the consumer behavior.
okay. So what kind of sectors might disrupt going further?
I think everything is up for disruption except physical stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, if you real estate can't be disrupted because you need to build a building, find land.
okay,
So those kind of things will not be disrupted. Manufacturing can get disrupted from the process point of view, but you
okay,
need to build the factory. But everything which is not linked to physical can get disrupted, including as I said, X-ray diagnostics, medical diagnostics, D2C brand creation. All business fields can be disrupted. Restaurants are getting disrupted because of the direct food delivery.
yes, yes.
So there is no field which will not get disrupted unless you are a physical asset owner. So like if you need a 5-star hotel or a 3-star hotel, you need a building and land. That probably will take time to get disrupted. But your pricing can get disrupted.
Okay, yes, 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 yes. So when it comes to the financial industry, particularly our industry, so previously Indian common mindset is every house should have a doctor and an engineer. But I believe going further, the finance professionals are going to lead India. So what's your take on that? And how do you guide the next generation about this finance industry?
So as I said, savings pool is rising.
Yes.
And that's why we are saying that the industries like financial services, advisory, etc., which are linked to financial pool going are going to do well. So that's definitely a good thing. Though I don't believe that we should have everybody into finance. We need manufacturing also because we need to produce stuff, right? Otherwise, we'll run a trade deficit.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but for people who want to join the finance field, I think it's a very upcoming field. But do not underestimate the use of technology. All of us need to be tech savvy also,
Okay.
because you can't just be an advisor without using technology. Because if you are just a plain vanilla advisor, most likely in the next 2 years itself, ChatGPT will do a better job of financial advisory than you, right? So you need to be tech savvy. So keep upskilling yourself.
So I have the same doubt on this chat GPT, might advise.
Yes.
So the chat GPT can only give the advice based on the previous performance, but it can't predict the future. So only the advisor can do that,
Right.
right?
Can you?
Sorry?
Can you predict the future?
I can't predict the future, but as you said, like going for the 5 years based on the macro and microeconomic situations, which sectors might perform.
Correct.
Might perform. So
Correct.
based on the scientific evidence.
Correct.
But I think, do you think like ChatGPT can give the future advice?
Problem is how do you model it? The question is how do you model it,
Okay.
right? So it's all a function of how you model it.
Okay.
If you, with your wisdom, are able to put all your accumulated wisdom into a ChatGPT program,
Okay.
it will be able to do what you do.
Okay. So it is all about how we are going to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understood. Yeah. Most of the investors don't know that every AMC will have their own philosophy, as you said, value, growth, or blend oriented.
Correct.
So as we are discussing about the philosophy of individual AMCs, should an investor choose one AMC or whether he need to choose the multiple AMCs to diversify the risk?
Again, know yourself first.
Okay.
You have to know yourself first.
Suitability.
Suitability, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I understood. Okay. when I place multiple funds in your fund, so what is the parameter that you take before picking a fund, like a risk-adjusted return or the fund manager's approach or an expense ratio?
Expense ratio should be the last, definitely, because point is we are talking about 1 to 2%, right? And as I said, in a country like India, there is adequate scope for alpha creation.
Okay.
So if we can generate, over and above 1-2%, I think we are adding value to the portfolio, right?
Okay.
And I think it's more important to understand the philosophy, because the past performance and the past volatility will be a function of that philosophy.
Okay, yes.
Right? And philosophy can mean a lot of things. One is, of course, the styles that we talked about, the concentration that we talked about,
Yes.
the individual versus process-driven approach that we talked about. That's some fund houses which let fund managers have a lot of freedom.
Okay.
Complete freedom. So one fund may do completely different from the other fund if they are different fund managers. Some fund houses have a more consistent policy across different funds. So all those nuances you need to understand.
So basically we have to read. As you said, we have to spend some time while investing in the mutual funds,
Exactly.
Understand them, understand the philosophy.
It's exactly like picking a stock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we are investing on the mind of a fund manager.
Correct. Right. And you are investing based on your understanding of yourself.
I understand. Okay.
Right? Because you can't have a situation where you want limited downside, but you also want the unlimited upside of the markets.
Yes.
Right? You have to choose. Right? Whether you want less volatility or you want high volatility.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. You have given a lot of information, and I have so many questions due to the time constraint. I'm not able to extend.
We'll do it next time again.
Yeah, definitely. Because for the Telugu community, these type of shows were not available, and there are no industry people coming here and delivering the knowledge. So I believe like you will be giving more time next. So we have to deliver so much knowledge into the Telugu people.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.